Robin's going to talk about our next panel, which looks not only at tablets, but at the hardware that you've seen come out this year and that will be coming out in the future to ensure that kids have the physical platforms that they need to explore. I think that what's somebody knows the data now. 78% of all kids under 5 have played with a tablet.
Yeah. Can we ask everybody to grab your chairs, fasten your seatbelts, and we're going to get started. And Robin was just saying, what was that, 78%?
You know, never quote me on the numbers, but it's something like that. It's, you know, that seriously, like 3/4 of kids under age 8 or something have had some exposure to tablets. Tablets are quickly replacing the PC and the notebook in schools, and we're talking from nursery school on. I think you're going to hear some things about new hardware form factors for kids. I think you're going to see the glasses that everybody's wearing around the show in one form or another trickle down. You've seen the watches if you've been down on the show floor. You will, this afternoon, see some smart watches for kids for the first time. Kids too young to even use a mobile phone. So I think we're in for a real treat on the hardware side, in part because of rapid prototyping, in part because of crowdsourcing, and an idea can be iterated upon and improved really quickly, and in part because, like Warren always says, when you put a real product in front of real kids and you get feedback, you make a better product. So I'm going to let him introduce our next panelists and take it away.
Okay, thanks, Robin. I was missing my chance because the library guy, he was making all the noise over there, and I was going to go, shh. We'll do that. We'll save that for later because that's the old library, right? New libraries. So we have Eric and Renee and Jennifer. And rather than me introduce you, I'll get it right to you. So Eric, who are you?
Sure. I'm Eric Levin. I run Technosource, which is a division of Li & Fung. And we started in the electronic toy business. And over the last couple of years, have gotten deeply involved in the kids' electronic space, especially in the tablet space with our Curio brand. And announced here at the show that we've now gotten into the phone business as well.
So, and folks, we do have a document camera that is functioning. So anything that you want to put on there. Eric, that's important. Why is that an important device?
Well, you know, I think it's important because if you look at the data, and you guys were just talking about it, kids are younger and younger getting involved with these technologies. Our tablet sales from this last holiday, 50% of the registrations were kids 3, 4, and 5 years old, which is pretty stunning. And I think, you know, whether we sort of morally and ethically agree with that or not, that's what's happening. So the way we look at it is, how do we make sure we design devices that allow kids to use them safely, parents and kids to work together responsibly to manage how they use these devices, since they're going to be.
Obviously, you went to business school. I went to education school. What I wanted you to say is that's a phone, folks.
Oh.
That's a phone. That's a tablet phone. Right.
You got to work on your setups.
I know, really. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Renee, what did you bring for us?
Oh my gosh, I've got a couple of toys here. Do you want me to
Oh,
demonstrate?
you got a
them, or-
mic, so you're good.
Oh, yeah.
And you have a mic, so we're all mic.
We're all mic.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. Wait, who are you?
Okay, I'm Renee Rice. I'm a 30-year veteran in the toy and game industry, but I've been a toy trend expert for the last 15 years. So I go to like 24 trade shows a year around the world, give speeches, learn about all these new products, work with people like Warren and Robin, and really collectively get what are the best products out there and then try and get them out to the media and let people know what's happening with them. Do you want me to demo some of these? Or?
Well,
But we've got some cool toy products that are very interactive in a very fun and empowering way for kids.
Yeah, and I want you to talk about the LeapPad Ultra. It's a very important product this year and represents a milestone for Leapfrog and kind of a gutsy step into the saying, take this, Technosource, Curio, right? Yeah, we're going to get some stuff going here.
I'm in the middle here.
I don't think there's a problem because I think they took a completely,
Different
they're the untablet. Tell us about it.
Sure. So I'm Jennifer Okens. I'm the Director of Marketing on tablets for Leapfrog. Leapfrog, of course, is the #1 leader in educational entertainment for kids. So LeapPad Ultra is our kid-safe Wi-Fi tablet that delivers a complete learning and educational solution for kids aged 3 to 9. It provides access to our full Leapfrog Learning Library, which provides over 800 learning games, apps, videos, music, everything. You can, let's pretend you're Jackson for today. You can sign in for him.
Okay.
Let's push that one. Now, we'll give you up to our home screen. Over 800 educational games, learning games, creativity apps, videos, everything that has been designed or approved by our in-house team of learning experts. So everything that is on this device, somebody has looked at, as an expert has looked at, to ensure that it is kid-safe, kid-appropriate, educational, and kids will be ultimately absolutely entertained and engaged with this, because ultimately both kids want to continue to play and parents want them to play this device because it is in fact educational and learning. So it is an awesome device. Again, it is fully tapped into our App Center, which is educator approved and loved by
And
kids
we heard
and
from your
moms
boss
alike.
earlier today who gave
We
us
did.
sort of the underlying philosophy. And so we have sort of some diverse ideas here, different approach to the same thing. And then we're going to then move into tablets a little bit more, Eric, correct? And talk about that space, because that has been a huge change area in the past 12 months. Did any of you have prepared presentations that we should do?
No.
Nope, I don't have like a PowerPoint or anything. Nope.
I have a slide, but it, if we want to show it, we can show it, but it does not.
Why don't we
critical.
put that slide up? So can you push one on that? And actually, I would love
What do we
to.
push? Oh.
Yeah, that's right here, Renee. It's okay.
Here we go. LeapPad
So there's
Ultra.
your slide.
Right, and so from a features perspective, I didn't cover that. So it is a 7-inch tablet, high-resolution screen, 1024 by 600 screen. There's a rechargeable battery included. That is absolutely one of the things that parents have told us, kind of coming off of our LeapPad 2 a year ago, that one of the main things that they wanted as an improvement. So we brought that into our LeapPad Ultra. And it's up to a 9-hour gameplay, which is certainly best in class. There is 2 cameras, so front and back camera and video recorder, 2 megapixels on both of those, 8 gigabytes of memory, so holds tons and tons of storage, both user-generated as well as the apps that can be downloaded from our store, and of course access to our amazing library.
We got to do that one song. What is that song? I think it's Dig It.
Like that one? We're gonna get up and dance?
I think so.
Cool.
I think
This'll be fun.
it's appropriate. All right. Is the
I
volume?
think I turned the volume down. Yeah.
So another thing that Leapfrog understands that other people don't understand is how to do an interface. And the buttons, there's actually a physical on-off button. And that's really lacking. If you hand a typical tablet, Android tablet, to an adult or grandparent, they don't know how to turn the bloody thing on. And that's a huge bad start, introduction to any device. I'm trying to figure out, help me out here.
Sure.
It's on. Oh, it could be that our audio's turned down. I'm not sure. But check the audio, because it should be playing.
There you go.
Okay, because you really,
Dig out, dig a pit.
all right, so anyone who thinks that the Ultra is kind of boring,
It's cool.
Ow,
check out this vibe.
Al can dig,
What's that?
dig out, dig,
Oh,
dig a pit. Al dig, dig it big.
This is one of our proprietary.
The pit will dig it big.
About a good handful of music that comes included on the device, as well as we have other apps that offer other songs by S-Band, as well as lots of other music available, Kids Bop and others.
now Eric, I could have done the same thing on a
Tap your
Curio.
name at the top of the
We'll,
screen to make
we'll have to work on getting the house band. I don't know if they'll share, but other than that, yeah, we can certainly play a lot of music. I think we come at this from fairly different places, really. You know, Leapfrog has a great heritage in learning. I think they do the best job out there. Their content is phenomenal. I think we're coming from it from the standpoint that, you know, there's a movie, it's like free to watch, I think, online called Naked Brand. And there's a clip from that where they take this little kid, they put him down in front of this green screen, and they hand him a block, and they say, "What color is this?" It's red. He says, "Green." You go, "Okay." And then they hand him another thing, and he said, "Well, you know, what shape is this?" And it was round. And he says, "Square," right? Then they hand him an iPad, and they say, "Turn this on and open up your favorite Disney app." Bing, 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 boom, right? He doesn't know his colors, doesn't know his shapes, but he can get to Disney Toy Story storybook. So, you know, where we're really more playing in is if that's happening, and we know that that's happening, how do we make sure that the more sophisticated devices, the true tablets, have features and tools built into them that make it as appropriate as possible for kids that young starting to get involved with it? And what we see is, for the most part, they don't struggle much at all figuring out how to get around them. In fact, like we saw with this kid, they seem to almost completely intuitively do it. The problem is that, you know, suddenly they have access to the internet, they have access to apps, they have all these things that may not be fully appropriate if not managed properly for younger kids. And so that's really the way that we've come at it, is to say, you know, how do we do a good job for that audience and for that purchase decision?
And that's both with your Curio tablet and with your new phone.
And with the phone. So with the phone, we take it just one step further and say, you know, more and more now, younger and younger, the norm is changing. And for a long time in most communities, it seemed like 5th grade graduation was the time it was acceptable to get a phone. Now we're hearing more and more about 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds starting to get phones. And just like with tablets, it's likely going to get lower and lower. So what types of things have to be done to make sure that the device is appropriate for this new audience? And the other piece that comes with that is, for the phone companies, it's one of the last uncharted audiences, because almost every adult already has a phone. So they can't really sell more phones. They can just upgrade you. But there's this group of people that are under 12 that don't have phones yet. So the carriers are putting a lot of thought into how to make that appropriate, affordable, interesting, because it's a big market. And I think we all know marketing to kids. We've all been in this business a long time. When there's a kids market out there and people can, you know, make money doing it, they probably will. So how do we make sure that we're responsible when we do it?
Renee, what did you bring for us?
I brought a variety of different interactive play products. So I have Furby, who I'm not going to turn on right now.
Don't touch him.
If you touch Furby, it keeps going. And all the way back home to my hotel last night, he kept talking. But Furby is incredibly interactive. You've got twice as much stuff in this Furby, in the 15th anniversary Furby, than in the original one. And you've got an app. So you can have an app that interacts with it, that you can take with you when you're not, you know, when you don't have your physical product. So what these products do is you can use a device to activate them or to play with, or you can play with them completely as physical products, which I love as well. So we have Zoomer here too, and I will turn Zoomer on because I can turn Zoomer back on.
Yes, I can do that. Well, actually, if we...
Okay, come on, Zoomer.
This is so that all of you can see these amazing creatures.
I can actually do it with this. Works pretty well.
So, all right, again, the yoga part of the course is now we stand on our heads and
Let's see.
Okay, this is Zoomer. Come on, Zoomer. Zoomer, come on.
Renee,
do not
I
point
know,
it this way.
he's not jumping out there.
I can do it this way.
On the floor, or?
No, I'll do it this way.
Okay, so this is Zoomer. He's a very interactive, very fluid movements. I mean, if you can see, it sounds like a puppy, looks like a puppy, gives you movements of a new puppy, not all the mess of a real puppy. So much fun. Zoomer, whoops. Zoomer, P. Zoomer, P. Okay, sometimes he'll listen, sometimes he won't. Okay, Zoomer, calm down. Calm down. Okay. Play dead. The table's a little small for Zoomer. Do you want to get him to?
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm with Spin Master and Zoomer.
She's the master dog trainer. He's being temperamental, okay?
Okay, ready? Zoomer, go pee. Zoomer, go pee.
Oh my goodness, Zoomer, Zoomer.
For those of you that didn't see, Zoomer's got his leg way up in the air.
Which is not right.
Zoomer, play dead.
One last bathroom break for Zoomer.
Zoomer, go pee.
But there's over 100 different commands that you can train this puppy. It does all kinds of things, and it's just so fun and interactive that kids are going to love it. And what they do love about it is that it's empowering. It's interactive. They can teach it to do things, and it empowers the kids to do something. Because at this age, there's so few things that you can empower kids, that kids can feel empowered to do on their own. So that's kind of cool. Now this one, and that's by Spin Master. This is MIP. MIP is it stands for Mobile Inverted Pendulum. But what it really does is, I'm going to turn MIP on here.
Let's see.
Okay, yes.
Hit
So
me
you
if I
can
do
see the
something wrong.
different colors that there's 6 different modes for MIP. But, okay, so this is the dance mode. So let's get. And kids love playing with this, and younger children will dance with him and play with him, and just getting him to do all of these different things. So these are some things. There's also ways that you can play with it where you put your hand in front of it, it turns around, it moves different ways. Our table's kind of small, so I don't want to drop them. But this product, if they had made it 2 years ago, would have been like $4,000 to make, because all of the stuff that's inside. It was built together with the University of California, San Diego, their interactive robotic lab. So this product is now $99, but it just does so many cool little things. And he also can carry a tray, and he can carry his own weight, so you can put another MIP on there, and he'll move around and do things with it. So kids can just do so much with MIP.
I think there's this really interesting trend of Moore's law with things like, this is the first Ultra to have lithium polymer batteries, right? And that's a huge step. No more AA batteries in a leap pad. I mean, folks, ladies and gentlemen, that's cause for celebration.
Yeah.
Right?
replaceable batteries.
But that's so incremental changes. But the thing Renee said, that 5 years ago, if you had taken one of those Siftio cubes, right, and walked into CES even 5 or 6 years ago with those, you would have, it would have been incredible. But now we sort of take that stuff like accelerometers and all these technologies for granted. I think the challenge here is to think about how to empower and how to harness these technologies for kids. And because of Moore's Law, we have so much more we can do. Like, we could have a whole hour on LEDs,
A
right?
whole hour on coding and programming.
Like, look at the
and what
LEDs
some
and
of
those
these things-
lights. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
and so we have new ways to bring brilliant kinds of stimuli to children and let them control it. So that's very cool.
Yeah, and and there's so many different products out there that are interactive that why would you want to buy a Watch Me toy?
Right.
I mean, there's so many great ways to engage kids, and they love doing things like this. They love being engaged and being a part of, a process and interacting with other kids. So it's not all about just, being individual on these products.
There was another comment that I thought of while you guys were talking. Now, we're going to talk about tablets a little bit more, but when I talk to kids, they wanted to watch What Does the Fox Say?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they wanted to watch. Now, this is a strike against the LeapPad Ultra because you can't really watch What Does the Fox Say, and a kid's going to be disappointed. You might say it's a plus because you can't get access to that crazy place called YouTube. But that was one of the things. So what we did is we started that single song on 20 different tablets just to see how each one, just to check the screen and the speakers. But I think the larger issue here is that access to the big app stores. You've got this 800-pound gorilla called Apple that's got 47,000 apps. if your device can't access that, you're going to have this disconnect. I can't watch What Does the Fox Play? Now, you can on yours because you can get to YouTube.
And actually, if I can just interrupt.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Leap, this is a Wi-Fi enabled device. Leap Search, we do have a web experience through Leap Search, which is a curated web experience. So basically what that does is everything, again, is reviewed and approved by our in-house learning team to make sure that it's kid appropriate and
Is
kid
What Does the
safe.
Fox Play approved?
That is not currently on, but we'll put it on the list to go through and review and approve because it absolutely is
It will not be approved. You know why? Because there's a buxom-looking woman drinking champagne in the first
That
scene.
is true. That is true. You're right.
Why don't you turn the projector on and show your... Warren took every kid's tablet on the market and did a little exercise, but
We-
you're not on a big screen.
Yeah, we can do that. It's on my computer, but
okay.
talk about
point,
this.
Yeah, I mean, point being that we do have robust, really engaging educational content, or not educational content, but web content through our Leap Search platform. And so kids can see all the great web content. It's just we are going to make sure that it is absolutely kid safe and kid appropriate.
I mean, curation becomes the issue. 47,000 apps. How is a parent ever going to be able to look through all of those and figure out what
And that's the
to
challenge,
choose?
right? And what our approach to that is that we want to make sure that we don't have to have parents have to go through that, right? We're going to select it for you.
I will speak for the child.
You want to have
I'm sorry, I
everything.
mean,
He wants everything.
Our kids
Agreed.
are
It's a major
highly
problem.
engaged.
And I think the other issue is with Android is Google Play is not keeping up, and that's the same with the Kindle Fire HD. They're great pieces of hardware, but the software always drives everything. And I think this is a reality, and it can't go unspoken.
Want me to hold the mic?
Yeah, I'll try. But Eric, I know you have some things to say about that.
Well, you've got your own mic.
I'm mic'd up, yeah. Well, first of all, I do think Google Play has come a long way, and I think it's now a must-have. And it's an issue that we struggled with this last year because we had planned on launching our product with Google Play and Google certification. We ended up not launching with that because of COPPA laws. And it was very complicated to set up a system where we were fully COPPA compliant and we had access to Google Play. We now have done that. And actually now our product does come with Google Play, and you can download it to any device that you purchased from us previously to have that. But these are business models that are somewhat at odds. Google's whole business model is about collecting data. COPPA is all about making sure data isn't collected about kids. So we had to work really hard to find a way to sort of put those two things together. But if you don't ultimately offer that content, you will have a complete rejection by kids, is what we've seen. And it's hard to keep up. To fully curate the internet would require every human being on Earth practically constantly looking and making approvals for you. It's moving so fast. And so the ability to sort of balance that out with, as a parent, making sure that you have the right controls in place is tricky. And so we do our best and try to walk a line that allows you to do that without creating a situation like, and my personal experience with 2 kids was we started with Apple products, and if you put on parental controls on Apple, every 5 minutes, my daughter was coming to me saying, I can't get on this website, I can't get on this website, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this, I can't do that, to the point that you just finally give in and take off the parental controls, which is a horrible parenting idea, but we all get tired, let's face it, right? So what we really try to do is put those tools in place where it is giving I guess it's really our fundamental design philosophy. The kids should be able to do absolutely everything that they want to do and that it's okay to do. The only thing we want to stop them from doing is the stuff that they shouldn't be doing anyway. And if you walk that line, then the kids don't reject the device. If you don't walk that line, rejection becomes very immediate. The initial return rates on kid tablets in the first year that people got in this business were in the 30-40% range. I mean, kids would get them home, they'd turn it on, the out-of-the-box experience was a complete letdown, and they'd just reject it. So we work really hard to make sure that that doesn't happen. That's my retort.
And you also have the learning path, too, which is something that brings the parents back and keeps bringing the parents in to learn what their kids are doing. You have the adaptive learning model
That's
on
exactly
your
right.
product.
That's exactly right. And to your point on the adaptive learning model, that is what makes LeapPad Ultra, and quite frankly, all of our LeapPad tablets so parent engage and kid engage, because we are able to automatically level kids through whether if a question is too hard, we'll automatically level that question down, make it a little more simple. If they're understanding the concepts, we'll level it up so that kids are ultimately and completely engaged because they're not frustrated with the process and they understand and they understand what they're learning and they get the confidence that they are learning and they're not getting wrong answers every time.
Oh, it'll go there.
Eric, did you show your phone?
You want to show your phone?
Well, you know, the funny thing about showing the phone is it's a phone. There's not much you're going to really see that's that different about it. What's different is actually what you log on and see when you're on your tablet or on your computer as a parent, and you come to the management screen that allows you to control all of these interactions that your kids are having. Is that still plugged in? No? Oh, you're good. Well,
The other
so
screen?
you all can't see this very well, but this is our control screen. So the parents can set alerts, put in emergency contact information, control contact management, control applications. This is one of my favorites. So you can, by application, put time control. So for example, Facebook will not work from 9 p.m. to the following 3 p.m. the next day if you set it that way. So no more fighting with your kid. Turn it off now, 5 more minutes. You know, it just automatically happens. You can do that application by application. We have calendaring, so you actually won't even be able to log into the tablet or the phone except the times that are allowed. Geolocation on the phone, so if I want to find you, I can actually find you. I can also set a geofence. I can put a location, and if you leave that area, I get an alert. I can control phone use, in, out, how many phone calls, how much data, how many texts in, how many texts out by day, by week, by month. You can control the internet access and filter that. And as well, we have some really cool lost phone features. We actually use this here at CES. We thought we'd lost a phone, and we're able to track it. So just lots of tools, really, is what it comes down to just help you manage.
And once again, a lot of these tools weren't available like a year or two ago. The geofencing, being able to have NFC technology in a kid's device.
Yep.
This is an opportunity to use the new.
We have questions and answers, or we?
We have time for like 1 or 2 questions, and I see a question here, so I'm gonna. And if you could get our next panel mic.
Say who I am? Or? Hello, good afternoon. My name is Kevin Burgess. I work with DCI Art Form, and my question to you is, from your research, what do you consider to be the greatest needs for parents when they purchase these tablets? Is it things such as permission controls, or is it more so, security or locating a device in case it's lost? What do you see as the major needs of parents who are purchasing these tablets? And
Sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so
You're going to get some different answers, probably.
Yeah. So from our perspective, what we find is probably not surprising. So first and foremost, the parents want to make sure that the kids can do what they wanted to do. So the ability, it really comes down to 3 things that rise above everything in our research. The ability to access entertainment content, whether it's movies, apps, games, the internet, whatever it is huge. The ability to access learning games and educational content is also huge. And then the last thing that they worry about at that top tier level is internet safety. So making sure that the kids won't end up someplace they shouldn't. There's lots of other things, but those things, when you look at a graph, peak way above everything else for us.
And how about for your?
And quite frankly, I would say the same things, right? From our research, 57% of parents, their number one thing that they want is educational apps. So that is absolutely the top, most important. But kids aren't, to your point before, kids aren't going to stay engaged in something if it's only learning and it's boring, right? And that's where some of the curation comes in on, other app centers where it's difficult for a parent to understand which one is going to be engaging and which one's not, and if it's just pure ABCs or 1, 2, 3s. So absolutely engaging content, because they ultimately need the kid to be entertained, right? So entertainment for sure, and then when you get to Wi-Fi devices, absolutely the parent controls and the kid's safety and the kid appropriateness is for sure number 1.
I would add also durability, and they want something that doesn't make their child cry.
I'm going to brace.
Right? And I think you've all succeeded in doing that. Thank you, panel. Renee, thanks for bringing all your toys.
Devices, yep.
You always bring something interesting. Thank you very much,
Sure.
Eric. And Eric, you're sticking around?